Hello, thanks for taking some time to evaluate our company. My name is Patrick Shaw, and this is step one of a two-step overview. And it's really dedicated to giving you an idea of what our service is all about. In step two, we'll talk about the business, compensation, timing, and what it can mean to you. But you probably agree, the single most important aspect of evaluating any company is the value of the service they provide. Essentially, would you own it? And is this a company and a service that you would feel good about representing? So our company, we're 35 years in business. We're publicly traded on the prestigious New York Stock Exchange. We're financially solid with tens of millions of dollars in the bank, and we've been featured in every financial publication and journal out there. Fortune, Forbes, Inc., Entrepreneur, Investors Business Daily, Wall Street Journal, because of the service we provide. You see, the track record we have in the 13 years of growth is really based on a massive need in the marketplace. What is that need? Well, it's giving people access to the legal system in this country, and second, it's providing assistance with the escalating problem of identity theft, the largest white-collar crime in the history of America. So let's talk about what we do. We really give people access to these two arenas in 7 different ways, and we're going to cover those. Let us give you an example. Really, have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever tried to return a defective product? Received a traffic ticket? These are common everyday situations. Has this happened to anybody in your family? Have you ever lost a security deposit? Been audited? Signed a contract that you wish you wouldn't have? Or you would have liked to have an attorney review that contract before you sign it? Purchased a home? Do you currently have a will? You know, 85% of Americans don't have a will, and a lot of times it's simply because of the cost. You think, hey, I'm going to get to that later. Have you ever simply had a legal question? Or has something showed up on your credit report that didn't belong there? Have an insurance company that said they would pay a bill and then turn around and did not pay it? You see, these are all legal situations. Some of them are major and some of them are minor. But all the same, wouldn't it be nice to talk to an attorney or get help if you didn't have to worry about the cost? How about identity theft? You see, we're all at risk. There's you who's listening to this recording, and then there's the database you. And the database you is made up of insurance claims you've had, your name, maybe your military record or medical record, car registration information, fingerprints, DNA, address, social security number. This information is very valuable to the identity theft rings that exist today. They buy and sell this information. The Federal Trade Commission says that 1 out of 6 people will be a victim of identity theft this year alone. It's the largest white-collar crime in the history of America. How does this information get lost? Well, some people think they can prevent it, but UCLA, ChoicePoint, Citibank, Citi Financial, MasterCard, AOL, Veterans Administration, they've all lost information, and it affects you directly. The cost to individuals, the average dollar amount charged in identity theft is $92,000. Once your information gets out there, it gets out there aggressively. It doesn't just happen once either. Now, hopefully you haven't been a victim yet. But wouldn't you feel more secure to have professional assistance with these issues? Well, this is where Prepaid Legal Services and Kroll Worldwide come in. We give people access to the legal system. Pretend you were to pick up the telephone and you were to call a really good attorney. You were to walk into their office and say, listen, I pay for AAA, health insurance, life insurance, fire insurance, and flood insurance. I'd like to pay you a flat monthly fee the way I pay for AAA. I pay a flat fee and they give me a series of benefits. You walk into an attorney's office and say, listen, I want to pay you one time a month. I want unlimited telephone consultation, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. I want to be able to call you for anything, personal, business, financial related, current or pre-existing, anything. You'll write letters and make phone calls on my behalf. You'll review contracts and documents up to 10 pages before I sign them. Folks, any one of these areas might be worth what you'd pay with our company. But what would the average attorney tell you? I want a comprehensive will, you say, for myself, a significant other, and I want you to prepare it as soon as I become a member of your law firm. You see, that's the first area of coverage. The second is motor vehicle services. That's right. I want you to cover me for any traffic tickets, as many as I may receive all over the country. Now, I know you can't fix tickets, but I want you to help me keep the points off my license as long as I'm not under the influence of drugs or alcohol. I even want you to cover me for motor vehicle related criminal charges. Folks, we're talking about somebody getting sleepy at the wheel. Now, they have to have a valid license, a registered vehicle, can't be under the influence of drugs or alcohol, but they get sleepy at the wheel. They pull the car back onto the highway, they lose control, somebody dies in an accident. 100% of your attorney's fees would be paid by owning a prepaid legal membership. So not only covering traffic tickets, but motor vehicle related criminal charges. How about trial defense? The day you become a member, you have 75 hours of pretrial and trial time. By the 5th year, 335 hours. So if you are ever named in any kind of personal civil suit, you've got an attorney in your hip pocket. That's like having a separate account where you have the money put away just in case you're named in a personal civil suit. Not only do we cover you, but amazingly enough, we cover your whole family, the member and the spouse. Any children up to 21 living at home, up to 18 if you're the legal guardian, up to 23 off at college, not married, and any child who's physically or mentally challenged regardless of age. Our service costs $35.95 per month. It's month to month. There's no long-term contract. Can you imagine your cell phone company saying, hey, listen, we're so convinced our service is incredible that we're going to charge you month to month, and if you don't like it, you can cancel. Folks, it's a one-time $10 enrollment fee, and we have 1.6 million members nationwide because it works. The fourth area of coverage is IRS audit legal services. On your personal tax return, if you're audited, you have 50 hours of professional tax attorney services. The fifth area of coverage is the preferred member discount, a 25% discount on anything, whether you're adopting a child, incorporating a business, pre-existing situations, and not just a discount, but to know that you've got a really great law firm to represent you. How about the Legalshield? If you're ever detained, questioned, arrested, you can pick up the telephone and call an attorney, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're in another state and you witnessed an accident and are being detained. We have a gentleman who was traveling in Las Vegas on business. He was out having a good time and he's leaving his hotel. He notices a man beating a woman. He tries to stop him and the woman clocks him. They all get arrested. But because he's a member, even though it was around 2 o'clock in the morning, he had his Nevada attorney on the phone and was back in his hotel room within an hour because he had access to the legal system. Now, a crazy story, but things happen every day. How about our identity theft shield? Now, this is major. We have 3 benefits under this portion of our coverage. The first 2 is simply a credit score and credit monitoring. Now these are important, but the reality is many companies will offer you credit monitoring. We offer continuous monitoring of your credit report. So if something pops up, you will immediately be notified. But here's what's most important. Kroll is the world's leading risk consulting company today. They do identity restoration. So if somebody buys an Escalade in Florida and they use your Social Security number to do so, would you want to know about it? You bet you would. Kroll will not only say, hey, this happened, but you sign a 1-page power of attorney and we will restore your credit report back to the original state prior to the identity theft, plus do proactive searches. National and local databases will be checked for any bank accounts, criminal activity in your name or driver's license. So, these are the 7 areas of coverage. It's what we're so excited about because our service is simple, makes sense, and it makes sense to the average American. It's affordable, and we have virtually no competition. So, look forward to seeing you in step 2.